Okay, so here we are. As promised, Dark Souls 2 beta. Now, well, I think first things first. Well, first and most obvious, other than the fact that I'm playing pretty trash at the minute, and I'll explain what that was about in a sec. But yeah, obviously, as you can tell, I've not actually started from the start of the beta here. So yeah, I have about 2 hours worth of beta footage on. So I've got about 2 hours of beta footage, which I'm going to split into 3 videos. Oh boy, yep, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, 2 hours, 3 videos. The reason it's actually starting from about partway into the actual level is because what actually happened was, well, long story short, I forgot to start recording straight away. It's also part of the reason that we only have 2 hours instead of 3 hours of beta footage. Also, not helping was the fact that I kind of overslept my alarm by about 20 odd minutes, but yeah, 2 hours. Now, the 2 hours themselves are going to be split into, well, as I say, I'm going to split it into 3 videos. The first video, what you should be watching right now, is the Warrior. Then I'm going to have very briefly show some footage with the Dual Swordsman. Because I didn't actually play the Dual Swordsman that long, I'll elaborate on that. Then the Sorcerer, which, yeah, again, I will actually put Dual Swordsman and Sorcerer in one video because they're both pretty short. And then finally we will have the Hunter. Okay, so now, first I guess we should go straight into the major point here. There is no multiplayer, which, conveniently enough, the error code just came up, but yeah. Long story short, there was some serious issues with the servers on Sunday, to the point that the EU pretty much completely lost any ability to play online with each other, and the North American version wouldn't even log into the servers, which both sucks and doesn't suck. I mean, it sucks badly for our North American friends because they never got to play the beta, but on the plus side, I get to have an extra day. So yeah. Back to what was happening when I was getting the shit kicked out of me at the beginning of the video was that, well, obviously the first up was that I was epically failing to parry, which is also what's going on just here. And now I'm getting screwed over by the multi-directional attack system now, but I will elaborate on that soon as well. But yeah, what was happening was that first and foremost is I was failing to parry, and then I switched to my longsword, and I was attempting to do a two-handed parry with that, which it turns out you can't. Because it turns out that grey swords, such as the, well, that giant-ass sword I've got now and the Zweihander, actually have a two-handed parry. Which, yeah, that would be fun to use once I actually get in. Yeah, I'm doing some leveling up here. Now, what I actually tried to do with the Warrior was I was testing out what happens when you pump vitality and resistance. Because, you know, I thought it'd be a good idea. It turns out it wasn't a terribly bad idea, but it wasn't the best. One of the things, and I'm still trying to get an invasion to work, But yeah, one of the let's say, how do I put this? Rolling is still probably by far the best method of not taking damage, which I will very shortly come to the conclusion. And there's a shiny just there, which I will get onto in the Hunter video. So as for the actual beta itself, yet again everything is in beta form. This is a network test of, I think I mentioned a couple of times, so anything you see here is subject to change. And I'm trying to remember what the hell I'm doing at the minute. I was probably just looking at all my stuff. So yeah, I was generally attempting to... yeah, I was just playing with the... here we go. No, that... yeah, there we go. That was a two-handed parry on a ultra greatsword, because this is actually an ultra greatsword. So it comes in the same class as the Zweihander and sort of weapons in Dark Souls. And as you can see, it's actually reasonably quick. But I won't be using it for long. Okay, so out of the 5,000 souls that I started with, I believe I put up my... yeah, by the way, yeah, I put my first couple of points into strength so I could use a Zweihander, which I've just picked up. Then I started pumping resistance and vitality, yeah. In hindsight, I think I should have put at least a couple of points into my normal things. And yes, I was just seeing if I could two-hand the Great Axe. I'm not sure if I can though, because I think it was 24 strength, and yeah, it needs 24 strength, and I've only got 20, which means I should actually really be able to use it. Yeah, because for some reason the message here doesn't actually tell you that you can use it two-handed, but that's irrelevant. Now, one of the things you might have noticed back when I was killing that hollow is, yeah, even the warrior's armor doesn't have an exceptional amount of poise. I think it comes up to about 24 poise or something. This is, and yeah, those jumping attacks can really screw you. This. And now you're gonna get me to see me get pretty screwed over. Yeah, the Zweihander take, especially the R2 attacks and the Zweihander take a bit of accuracy, and it turns out that when hitting from the what would it be? It would be the left-hand side, or when you swing from just to the left, it's, shall we say, a bit more difficult to actually hit a target than I would have liked, but you'll see that more in a bit. The actual Zweihander itself is reasonably good. I actually really do like the moveset that they give it. I didn't actually demonstrate any of the movesets, but if you just watch and you'll get a general idea of what it is. And in hindsight, I really should have seen the guy behind me, but it doesn't really matter. And there's me. That is, by the way, the R2-R2 combo, which I do like, and I do think will be pretty good for PvP. Let me see, what am I doing now? Yep, backstab. And, yeah, these guys, in all honesty, are actually... they look worse than they actually are, although I don't actually have enough stamina to make a block on here. And yes, on larger, slower enemies you can easily do things like, you know, your normal pivot backstabs and such. I mean, them guys are big and they're slow, and unfortunately, and quite humiliatingly, one of them will kick my ass far too many times. Well, not quite very shortly, but still. Yeah. So that's, yeah, Royal Dirk, that's, yeah. Oh, is it a dagger? That's interesting. I'll get more onto that, when we get back to the Hunter, because I actually did use it for a bit as the Hunter. Now, I'm just trying to think of how to, where to go with this commentary. By the way, in case it's not entirely, I am actually fat rolling, by the way, here, or at least I'm pretty certain I'm fat rolling. I mean, despite what, the concerns people have been raising about agility, the movements, overall is more like, it really is more like Demon Souls than it is Dark Souls. And, well, while fat roll isn't exactly the best defense method, it's reasonably good. As I think I said in my previous Demon Souls video, I do actually honestly think that fat roll might potentially be viable in PvP. And speaking of PvP, I'm still trying to connect, because at this point they hadn't put the broadcast out to tell us all that multiplayer was offline or broken or whatever you want to call it, which was, as I say, it's a bummer. I was really hoping to get some invasions and, you know, that sort of thing. I've just picked up I picked up the Knight's Greatsword. Now, one of the things I did like about this, just like in Demon Souls, is you don't actually need your full stats to swing a weapon normally. I mean, obviously you'll still get lower damage out of it, but here I am just playing with the movesets and trying to work out what it is. And I do like the look of this greatsword. Say it's probably gonna. So as much as I was thinking, I wasn't gonna make a full quality build. I think the fact that there are weapons like that are still quality weapons will change my mind. And yeah, how I'm actually going to achieve it, I'm not sure. I think I'm pretty much going to have to, how shall I say? I'm probably going to have to more or less dedicate to a medium role, because I don't see. Again, we don't know what the community will decide the PvP soul level is. So yeah, that's to be seen. What was this about? Why was I doing this? I can't remember. No, well, it doesn't matter, it's just the PSN menu. Comments. So I'm not sure where to comment. I mean, I could say, we have cloth physics now. Yeah. And now I actually think about it, am I actually rolling slightly faster with the longsword than I was with the Zweihander? That is definitely going to be something I'm going to have to check. And yes, yet again, that is, as I said, they've changed the system now, as I said. Certain moves such as R2s and rolling attacks will actually always go in the direction that you are pointing the stick. And as I've mentioned in the past, I have a general habit when I'm playing to actually pull the stick away from the enemy, the opponent. The main reason was that so I could avoid accidentally throwing kicks. And I do believe it's going to be a habit that I'm going to have to break, or be continuously screwed over by it. The actual idea of it itself, I think, is really good. I mean, I think it could genuinely help to, shall we say, discourage backstab fishers. You know, with the idea of the that potentially someone might just throw an attack straight backwards at you as you try to backstab them. Hopefully it'll give some reason for caution. Now, what am I doing? The fact that I'm just standing there, I'm assuming I'm probably doing something stupid again. I was probably trying to... Yeah, I'm trying to do greatsword parries again. Say, I like that idea. I definitely do like the idea of giving ultra great swords time to parry. Now, what am I doing? I've quit. Okay, yeah. So I remembered why I quit. I was trying to see if there was if the invasion mechanic would work again. Say I'm still trying. At this point, it's obvious I'm still trying to invade, which is something that's obviously, as I've said time again, it was broken. I mean, there was no way I was ever going to actually invade. Now, the actual main purpose of what I was intending to do with this time was that when I decided midweek that I wanted to do a bit more exploring in this beta session, because I basically ran straight for the main boss, or at least what seems to be the main boss, and yeah, that sort of thing. And obviously in the following days I realised I had actually missed quite a bit. And in hindsight, I'm still wondering why the hell I've even bothered to put a shield equipped. Because I'm basically gonna almost not choose the thing. Ah, yeah, there we are. There's the game message. The admin message to tell us that the servers were broke. What was that? Did I say wooden bow? Yeah. Oh well. So yeah. But as I was saying, in hindsight, I'm actually not entirely sure why I bothered with putting the shield on, because I didn't really use it, in all honesty. You know, I used it a bit every now and then when I got my longsword out, but I didn't really use the longsword at all. I basically stuck with the Zweihander. And now I'm playing with things. Let me see. Other things I would like to discuss. I could discuss the human hollow difference. There'll be a better date for that. The UI updates. I do like the new UI. I remember a couple of people said that they either, you know, completely disabled the UI or set it to always on. I personally left it as hide UI. And here I am trying to fight a Black Phantom. The Black Phantoms, I'm not going to say that they were hard. They weren't overly easy either, but yeah. I'm not sure what happened there. I did a roll and he caught me mid-roll. Because yet again, unless you really pump your agility, and this... So unless you really pump your agility, you can't expect to get many invincibility frames. And this is a... me getting very badly injured from being outnumbered. That was a prime example of why you don't want to, how should we say, be careless in your surroundings in a Dark Souls game. I mean, the reason I basically nearly died there is almost entirely because I didn't clear out the previous area before pulling these guys down. Oh, as you can see, there's actually 4 phantoms here. One of the things I would actually like to say is I don't think it's entirely evident right now, but you'll see. Say back, I think it will yet again be on the hunt when I was playing as a hunter, but they do seem to have improved the AI a bit, because one of the things I really noticed with these guys particularly is how shall I say, as you kind of saw, this one specifically actually waited until I was reasonably close. However, as I found out with the when I was using my hunter, is that if they have a line of sight on you and you actually pull out a bow, they will actually jump down from a much further distance. As for the actual distance, say, and this is the equivalent to sticky white stuff in this game. So I'm not sure what sort of things. Yeah, it's at this point, by the way, that I realised that doing the R2 will probably is almost going to be required to have at least some, some small distance between you and the target, because that happened a couple of times when I was trying to do the R2 and I was right up in their face, was that it just bypassed them. That's the running attack. It's pretty hard to see. And yeah, again, as I think I've already somewhat mentioned, the overall lack of poison, the armours that we got to use during the beta, is quite evident. Now, let me see, this has been going for nearly 20 minutes. Say, this was a new area for me, and I'm about to do probably the stupidest thing I did all night. Is I've completely overlooked the fact that I'm a fat roller on this. It's like, ooh, shiny, let's try and roll for it, and we can all guess where this is going to go. Yeah, gravity OP. And I really hope they improve the load times for the actual game. That's just a thing I'm going to throw out. Okay, now I'm dead and I'm also hollow, but you really can't tell since I'm wearing a suit of bloody steel, so yeah. Very soon though you'll get to start seeing as... you can actually already see it if you look carefully, is that I do actually have lower maximum health at the minute. I mean, it's... Oh. You know what? I'm gonna change what I said. I think resistance is actually doing some good for me there. But yeah, it's very subtle, but you can see the that I've got slightly lower HP. Now, this was an annoying thing. I'm not sure if this is just some weird bug in the AI, but every time I tried to get him to aggro, he would just run away until I got to the other side of the bridge and close. And I'm trying to consider whether, as I say, it's just some quirk in the AI or whether it's purposely trying to lure you to that side of the bridge. And another brilliant example of why trying to defend using rolls as a fat roller is not the best idea in the world. Damn. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure exactly what sort of build I'm going to go for in the actual game. Yes, now it's starting to become significantly more clear that I've got lower overall HP. And the small annoying point with all this is, of course, that I've lost like 7,000 souls from doing something stupid like rolling off a cliff. Now, yes, one of the we are, by the way, you're going to be treated to a very short, I'm not going to say it's called a montage because it's going to be pretty, because it's just going to run through unless I decide to actually montage it, but I doubt that. But yeah, I'm going to run into a streak of getting my ass kicked by this dude, or dying from very stupid reasons like that. And as it turns out yet again, as I found out a lot when I was doing my my catacomb invasions, I have a habit of blindly rolling off cliffs. But yeah. Yes, I'm just going to go through this. I think what I might actually, because I'm running through a lot, the inventory for a second, I don't think you might get to see a better thing, but I think what I will do is I will probably, what's the term? I would like to go through the menu sometime and in this video to discuss what it looks like all the different weapons are. Because that's just the sort of thing I like doing. In fact, I'll oops. Yeah, that is a couple of successful rolls. As I said, if timed correctly, fat rolling does work. See. And then this is what happens when you run out of stamina. 2 decent hits and he can pretty much destroy you. And that was that death was all down to bad play. Meaning, as I say, hindsight is 20/20. But I would have assumed if I'd, instead of trying to back up and roll and all that shite, and actually just gone up and thrown an attack at him, I'd have probably killed him. But there you go. That's the sort of games Dark Souls and Demon Souls are. They just generally punish you for mistakes. Okay, so basically that's going to be the end of the warrior video. It's at this point I basically decided that I couldn't be bothered doing all this fat rolling and that sort of thing. So yeah, that should be the end of this first video. Tune in for the second one, which I think is going to be a short one. Okay.